A brand's logo announces its presence everywhere. Just as you can identify an Apple product by looking at its logo, you can identify almost any brand by looking at its logo. Our case study in this video is the LV logo. We'll go through the history of the iconic brand's logo and how it has evolved over the years. We'll also see some LV products, like luxury bags and crossbodies. Let's begin with the history. After his father died in 1892, Louis Vuitton took over the LV brand. He wanted to make a logo for the company that could be used on the new canvas he had designed and patented to make Louis Vuitton luggage stand out from other brands that were trying to copy their style. The logo he designed is a hand-drawn typeface of the letter V overlapping the letter L that was influenced by Roman fonts. The Louis Vuitton emblem has altered relatively little in the decades since this first version was released. Few firms, let alone those that have been around for almost a century, can claim that they have not changed their logo. The only change to the Louis Vuitton emblem since 1892 has been the elimination of the brand's name beneath the monogram. In 1997, designer Marc Jacobs made the decision to use the LV monogram only in Louis Vuitton's marketing endeavors. Aside from this minor change, the LV logo that you see today is the same as the one that was designed for the brand over a century ago. But what exactly does the LV logo mean? The legendary fashion label's visual identity is exquisite yet bold, and it is undoubtedly one of the most recognizable around the world. The brand's text-based logo is made up of the whole word mark and a monogram, which are also featured on the fabric patterns and buckles of the luxury label's items. The fashion house's logo was designed in the middle of the 19th century and has never been changed. Only a few other symbols have been added over the years, and for a time, the word mark was deleted from the official logo, leaving the monogram as the only major portion of it. In terms of color palette, the high-end brand's visual identity uses two versions: monochrome, which looks bold and elegant on all surfaces and backgrounds, and light beige, which is close to gold and is the color of luxury and elegance. Together, they show what the company is all about and what it stands for. The brand also employs a stylized flower in two variations, one with four elongated and pointed petals encased in a black rhombus, and another with a rounded bloom set inside a solid circle. Both logos are used to represent a company, and you can find them embossed and printed on leather and fabric goods. In general, the Louis Vuitton emblem's black and white color scheme is an illustration of traditional simplicity and elegance. We should emphasize that, depending on the circumstances, the logo may be presented in different colors. Colors like gold, brown, and orange are among the most popular. In certain circumstances, designers choose a rainbow color scheme, which allows the monogram to appear in several hues within a single visual context. Although the official emblem is usually black, the company also employs other colors to correspond with its many product lines and branding initiatives. They've utilized everything from pastels to bright colors like orange and green. For example, the brown version of the logo has been a mainstay of Louis Vuitton handbags for many years. The logo's delicate, muted tone complements the deep hues of the leather wonderfully. Marc Jacobs created a new logo that features the monogram in a white, pink, blue, purple, and yellow pattern. Young people like these unusually bright monogrammed logos, which are also neat and classy. Like earlier mentioned, the Louis Vuitton logo is rendered in two versions. The name of the company is written in all capital letters in the light and elegant Futura sans serif typeface. This shows that the fashion house is modern and forward-thinking, while the boldness and elegance of the monogram are perfectly balanced. The LV monogram was hand-drawn in 1954 and is still in use today. The straight V overlapping the italic L makes one of the world's most recognizable symbols. Both letters have thick, long serifs and thick, clear lines, which are all signs of tradition, sophistication, and luxury. However, according to some statistics, about 20% of all counterfeit accessories sold in the EU are labeled Louis Vuitton, making it one of the most counterfeited fashion companies. The fashion company takes the issue very seriously and has over 60 full-time employees dedicated to its anti-counterfeiting efforts. The corporation has launched a variety of efforts aimed at reducing the number of counterfeits. For example, it makes a personalized monogram canvas. The pattern is based on the LV monogram and is readily identifiable. However, how do you verify LV's authenticity? Here are some measures you can take to ensure that you don't end up with a fake LV bag. Number 1. Note the stitching on your LV bag. The newer Louis Vuitton purses, such as the Alma, Neverfull, and Speedy, will always have exactly 5 stitches going across the handle tab sections. LV uses linen thread that has been strengthened with beeswax so that the thread stays the same thickness and color. Number 2. Check the stamping on the handbag. The Louis Vuitton stamp can be a good indicator of whether or not a bag is genuine. There are certain characteristics of an LV stamp that you should check for. An original LV stamp will show the following. The tail on the original LV stamp is always very short. The O's are quite round and appear to be larger than the L. The TS are virtually touching. The lettering is thin and sharp. Number 3. Check the date codes or microchips. If your Louis Vuitton handbag was manufactured between the early 1980s and March 2021, it will be stamped with a manufacturing code. These comprise 2 letters for the location where it was created and 4 numbers for the date it was made. All genuine Louis Vuitton date codes will include the Made in Country heat stamp. However, it is critical to remember that the date code should not be used to determine the authenticity of a Louis Vuitton handbag. An LV date code is not the same as a serial code used to authenticate a Chanel handbag. Number 4. Familiarize with Louis Vuitton styles. It's always a good idea to double-check whether the bag you're about to purchase was ever made by Louis Vuitton in the first place. This may seem obvious, but many counterfeiters will try to sell you a Louis Vuitton bag that was never even designed by the brand. If you do not know or remember the name, you can easily search for Louis Vuitton handbags by color and material. Number 5. Inspect the hardware in the bag. Since its inception, Louis Vuitton's hardware has remained relatively consistent. Since 1991, all Louis Vuitton bags have used its heritage gold brass hardware with the LV logo. Most modern Louis Vuitton bags do not have YKK or branded zippers. Certain Louis Vuitton shoe models, on the other hand, may have branded YKK zippers. Furthermore, all Louis Vuitton hardware tarnishes in the same way. Verdigris, green pigment, may appear on older bags. Number 6. Inspect the LV materials. All Louis Vuitton canvases, from the famous damier to the monogram to the multicolor, have distinct characteristics that ensure authenticity. But there are some things that are always the same. Every exterior panel should be symmetrical and centered. For example, the flowers in monogram and the squares in damier should meet at the seam. Louis Vuitton employs a single continuous piece of leather that wraps around from front to back, with a seam at the bottom. As a result, bags like the Speedy and Keepall will have an upside-down LV symbol on the backside. The symbols on the monogram canvas should be a light golden tan, not a greenish tan. Fake Louis Vuitton handbags frequently have the monogram color wrong. Number 7. Note the smell. An authentic Louis Vuitton bag will smell clean and may have a slight leather odor, whereas a replica Louis Vuitton bag may smell like chemicals or plastic. Even if an LV bag has other odors from use, it will never smell like chemicals. Number 8. Note the price. Be careful when shopping on online sites. Some prices may seem like a good deal, but they often turn out to be fake. But why is Louis Vuitton considered a luxury brand? Before deciding that a brand is genuinely luxurious, the fashion world evaluates, or seeks, 3 qualities in it. Those 3 elements are price, exclusivity, and quality. A brand that lacks all 3 is not regarded as genuine luxury. The products of Louis Vuitton are well known for their outrageously high, at least to some, price, exclusivity, and unquestionable excellence. Although not everyone thinks the exorbitant prices of LV's items are justified, everyone admits they are of exceptional quality. Louis Vuitton is one of the most prestigious fashion houses. You may have heard that the brand burns unsold fashion items. Nevertheless, that is not the entire tale. True, LV gets rid of products that have been on the shelf for too long, but it doesn't do so immediately. LV does not sell its products publicly. Instead, it sells them at a set price or discontinues the product. However, before the products are burned, LV organizes private sales for over 150,000 employees and other LVMH employees. The logo is an essential component of any company. It represents your brand, but it should not interfere with the performance of your website. The LV website has the LV monogram in one section and the name in another. The goal is to avoid overburdening the website with heavy fonts and colors. On both mobile and desktop versions, websites must be simple, appealing, and responsive. Keep this in mind while you create your website. As bonus information and to make your buying decisions easier, here are some of the most popular and stylish bags from the iconic LV brand. Number 1. Louis Vuitton Speedy. One of Louis Vuitton's most recognizable styles is the Speedy bag. The tiny Speedy, designed in 1930 in response to the decade's rapid transportation innovations, is lightweight, convenient to travel with, yet large enough to contain your essentials. The Speedy, dubbed a house icon, is an obvious addition to any outfit. Number 2. Louis Vuitton Alma. The Alma bag was named after the Alma Bridge, which connects two notable Paris neighborhoods across the Seine, and was designed by Louis Vuitton's grandson Gaston Louis Vuitton in 1934. The most structural of the legendary LV bags, with a strong leather bottom, protecting studs, and rolled leather handles. Number 3 is the Louis Vuitton Neverfull. The Neverfull bag, which was introduced in 2007, is a fan favorite. It quickly became one of Louis Vuitton's most popular bags, joining the brand's elite list of house icons. It has a lot of space, which makes it a great bag for every day and a must-have for trips. Number 4, Louis Vuitton Twist. The Twist is a sleek day-to-evening bag splashed with bold LV hardware and the latest addition to the brand's House Icons segment. The Twist is as adaptable as it is elegant, with a short chain hand strap and a leather crossbody strap. This simple handbag is made out of AP leather and comes in many different colors and sizes. Number 5, Louis Vuitton Petite Boîte Chapeau. A new Louis Vuitton Petite Boîte Chapeau bag will set you back $4,600, but it was inspired by the brand's classic hat box. This one-of-a-kind LV purse, a small and compact bag, generated quite a stir in the street-style scene when it debuted in late 2018. Number 6, Louis Vuitton Looping Bag. The looping bag, which was discontinued, is now a sought-after Louis Vuitton vintage item. The looping bag, which was released in 2002 for a relatively low price of $1,030, now sells for between $600 and $2,000 on resale sites such as Farfetch, Rebag, and eBay. The looped bag, with its arched vachetta leather handle and the house's trademark monogram-coated canvas, will never go out of style. Number 7, Louis Vuitton No Bag. Gaston Louis Vuitton produced the No Bag in a bid to create something large enough to contain 5 bottles of champagne. This classic bucket bag, first introduced in 1932, is a real Louis Vuitton classic. The Neo, Nano No, Petit No, No BB, No Backpack, and No Pouch are now available in 6 various sizes and styles. In conclusion, the iconic LV logo makes the brand stand out at every point in time. With a wide range of high-quality fashion items to its name, Louis Vuitton has proven to be the most valuable luxury brand in the world. The LV brand is a true luxury brand because it has all the qualities of luxury: high quality, a high price, and a small number of customers.